Well, hello everyone. As I promised, I said I'm going to make kind of videos or series of videos to explain how to deal with data analysis. The first video today we are going to talk about is how can you deal with your quantitative analysis. So we are going to try to simulate, like for example, a student has a pre-test and a post-test on a sample of 10 students, as you can see on the table here. So it is of a paramount importance that every student should organize his or her data in an Excel sheet like this. So as you can see what I did here, so we have students and I have my sample here and I have the result of the pre-test and the result of the post-test, all out of 20. So what I'm going to do with this data, the first thing you are going to present, for example, is you put them on a chart, on a diagram to make things nicer. And of course, it'll be, you can explain through that. So from the start, using Excel is so easy. You're just going to click, for example, by your mouse and click like that. Take this portion of the table. I have selected students to pre-test after 20 on all my sample. And I go to insert here. I go to this option, recommended chart. So it's going to give me like bunch of options and I have to be careful what to select. As you can see here we have sum of. We don't need the sum of, we need the second one, which is the pre-test and post that out of 20. And I click OK and voila, as you can see here I have my numbers here. I have all students from A to F. I can change the title. I can go here and click, for example, data label. I can change the design, for example, make it nicer the way you want, for example. It all depends on what you like. Now, and of course, you can easily take this, you copy this and you paste it in your dissertation and you're good to go. And now this is concerning the pretest. I can also take the post-test. Just in this case, for example, I'm going to click, not directly, I can select this column and I click, very important to remember this, you click on the control button and you go and select the post-test result. And you, as we did earlier, we go to insert and we click recommended charts. The same thing, we click the second one and we hit OK. Now, looking at what we did, we have the pre-test result and the post-test result. As you can see, after 25, you can double click on this. Okay, it should work. Sometimes, no, we don't have text option, text fill. No, we don't need it. Have it. Anyway, I'm also not that familiar with it, but it should work. Change tape. No. Anyway, so what we have here, we have out of 20. We go here again. Let me try. Didn't access. Okay, it's good. As you can see, minimum 0, the maximum is 25. We don't need 25, I need 20. Voila. We click on data label. And as you can see, we have here, for example, this is the pretest result with students, for example, taken 5, one taken 1. And in this case, the same student take 12, 14, 12, things of course have changed. Now, this is concerning how you present your data. For example, you simply say, for example, this is the result of the pretest, the result of the post-test. If we delete them, okay, I'm going to give another example. You can put them both on one table, sorry, and you click insert and you go to recommended chart again. You click the whole table, recommended chart, and not sum, and I click this. You see, and this, I have both of them. A pre-test here and a post-test here. I click OK and voila. As you can see, we have both results. I can put data label. As you can see, the first student 512, 512, 114. So all my data is here. So in this table is going to give you like kind of a comparison. What happened between the pre-test and the post-test. Good. So this is concerning in short how you deal with data analysis. Of course, there's more to it, but we are going to stick with in this short video with this. Now I want to also ponder in a very important concept in statistics. So it's the minimum. Of course, always you need to talk about the minimum But for example, if we see here and look at this table, see what is the minimum? The minimum is 1. But of course, and just we have a sample of 10. But if we have like a huge sample, it will be really difficult to spot the minimum. So what we are going to do, we are going to use this application also to help us. So follow me this. You need to click where we have in this table minimum. I'm going to click here and write equal, and it's going to write here minimum. As you can see, I'm going to select it from the chart. You see here we have return the smallest number in a set of values. So we click minimum. It's going to ask you to provide the sample. You use your mouse and you select the whole sample and you click enter. You see it has provided us with the minimum 1. I repeat the same thing, equal minimum, and double click, and of course I get my minimum 10. Now this is first very important. So if you want to talk about this, it's going to help you in order to really explain your data in a very scientific way. Now, of course, we can go to the idea of maximum. We have the idea of maximum, also the same thing. You hit equal, then you write max, and okay, then you select the whole sample, 19. They do also the same thing here, equal max, and okay, you double click on that, okay, and you're good to go. So we have the maximum here. In this case we have 20. Now let's go talk about the average. So the average also equal, then you write the average. As you see here, the average, and you click on it, and the sample, okay, done. We go also equal average. Okay, voila. Now, of course, what's the average going to tell you? In fact, it doesn't tell much, because it's going to tell you this sum divided by the number. But we talk about that later, because you really need to watch out. Because for example, if you look at the average here, as you can see, we have really these 19 is really pushing the marks on and in this case no, and we have 1 here. So in this student 1 and 3, and this when it comes to pretest, it's quite normal to have these kind of low marks. Now the mode, what is the mode? The mode is like the most frequent number repeated. So if we have mode, as you see here, returns the reminder, no, so we go to this, returns the most frequently occurring or repetitive value. I click on mode, and I click on my sample, and I click enter. So you see the mode here, that the most repeated mark my students have taken is 12. I go to the post test, and I do the same thing, equal mode, only this is mode singular, see here, click on it, and good, the mode is 14. So in your data analysis, you need to refer to this, and you say it's like, you can say it, I mean, that we see that almost student took to, for example, 14, but it is very scientific to use these kind of terms like the average mode. Now let's go to the standard deviation. The concept of standard deviation is very, very important. The standard deviation is going to tell you how the numbers are varying. For example, if we equal and we standard, and we click on the standard deviation S based on a sample, estimate standard deviation based on a sample, and click on it, and we provide the sample, and enter, it's going to give us 5.4. Let's go to the second one. I'm going to explain what's this 5 standard deviation S, equal standard deviation S, and I click on my sample. The result is going 3.5. Of course, then these numbers like 5.4 and 3.5, it doesn't say anything. But when you compare it, it's going to tell you that the numbers in the pretest really, really vary. not according to the, and compared to the post-test. What does it mean? For example, in teaching, when we teach, what we as teachers like is consistency. If I use, for example, a method, I need all my students to take, for example, the kind of equal marks. Here, in this case, we don't have that. Yet here we have. They are more consistent. I'm going to give you an example. Let's imagine that all my students took 20. The standard deviation should be 0. So if I have 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, as you can see, the standard should be, okay, 20, and we have 20. The standard deviation is it should be 0. What it tells you? It tells you that all students took the same mark. Of course, if you have 10, you will have basically 0. And this is very important when you analyze your data, especially those using kind of a pre-test and post-test. What we really need is consistent data. If you use like a treatment on a group, then you end up like someone taking 1 and taking 120. You may think you have to report this. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and of course I'm going to share with you others in the future. Thank you so much.